Hello. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Bitty, and I'm at work right now. I'm on my 15-minute break, and I got 10 minutes left, more like 9. I like to take walks on my breaks because I am sitting in a car all day. Anyway, I felt really called to record this video right now, talking about being clairaudient, because this is something I've experienced probably my whole life, really, but it's came more to my attention in the past couple years. So I know it's dark, but it's very impromptu. So I guess let's start from the beginning, right? Ever since I was a kid, probably the earliest vivid memories I have of something being related to clairaudience is a high frequency ringing in my ears when I was in kindergarten. I remember vividly in kindergarten occasionally hearing a high-pitched frequency like coming in for a few seconds and then just winding out. Like it would only last a few seconds. And me being a kid experiencing this, I didn't think much of it, really. I just assumed that everybody experiences this. Yep. I assumed that everybody experiences this. And I was like, I guess this is a thing about being human. Okay. And I didn't look much into it. I mean, as like a 5-year-old, I was just like, oh, So that's like the earliest memories I have. And then a couple years ago in 2024, honestly, that year, there was so much that happened that year. At the time, it was a very low point in my life. Mentally, especially mentally. And I had a dear friend who decided by choice to exit this life, and I lived with her, and it was very traumatic. But anyway, that's not what this is about. A couple months after that event happened, I moved out. I couldn't live in that house anymore. I mean, that's also actually part of the story, because when that happened and I was in that house after she had passed physically, I was still hearing her and conversating with her. And even when I had moved out of that house, I still kept in communications with her. And this was all new to me around that time, and I don't want to say scared of myself, but I felt like other people looked at me like I was a witch and crazy and shit like that. So anyway, a couple months after that happened, in the month of March 2024, towards the end of March, I think, I got tinnitus. I started hearing tinnitus, and it was so intense, and it bothered me so hard, and this impacted my mental health negatively because of the mindset that I had. I was so focused on how to get rid of it, and I don't know if this detail matters or not, but literally the day that I first started experiencing tinnitus, I went to a synthesizer workshop where the teacher taught us how to work modular synths, as well as a bit of the keyboard synths. But yeah, I love synthesizers, but I remember being sensitive in that workshop and hearing frequencies that I was wondering if other people hear. And later that day I got home and a fire alarm went off in my apartment building, like in the entire building, not just my unit, but the entire building. And I remember thinking in my head, oh my God, this alarm is like illegally loud. Like illegally loud. Like I do not understand how this was this volume, this dB level. I'm a musician and I am very hands-on with the technical side, but I don't understand how this dB level was approved for a fire alarm, because I feel like I can go deaf right now and I can't be the only one. But anyway, a couple of my friends were in the apartment. I kept hearing the ringing after the fire alarm. They didn't. And I was just like, what the hell? And this followed me for the next few months. I was so focused on how to get rid of this ringing. Another small detail. Oh my God, I have to go. I might have to continue this video after I get off work. But another small detail is that before this happened, around the same time, I wouldn't say it was the same day, but maybe like the week before, I was looking up the psychic ability. Basically I was looking up like high-pitched frequency and what it means spiritually, because like I said, around this time my friend had passed. I was experiencing a lot of unseen spirit world things, which felt like an awakening, or probably was an awakening in itself. But since I had known, I always experienced this high frequency ringing since I was a kid. At one point in March, I searched it up, and I found some videos that said that you're psychic, it means this and that, da 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 da. I was like, oh wow, that's so cool. Like, oh my God, I got powers. Like, that's cool. It is really cool. But then this was still when I was experiencing it occasionally, right? But then after, this is probably like a week later, a couple weeks later, that's when the fire alarm went off and I started experiencing the high-pitched frequency ringing 24/7. I felt like I was going insane. Oh my God, I couldn't stand being in my body. I could not stand it. But like I said, I was so focused on getting rid of it. Oh my God. Long story short, now 2 years later, it's 2026, June 2026. I'm realizing that everything happens for a reason. I've been known that, but I'm realizing what this means and not to take it for granted. I hear technology really well. When I'm around technology, no matter what kind of technology it is, I hear frequencies, I hear the technology, I hear things other people don't hear, I hear things that are far. And mind you, I've done hearing tests, right? And they tell me that I've lost some of my hearing. I can't hear certain frequencies. And when it comes to the scientific world and like the medical world, I take that stuff with a grain of salt. Like, it's partially true, but then it's partially not fully accurate or described or explained accurately when it comes to psychic abilities and the spiritual world. Hello, welcome to my studio. I just got home. Here's a little sneak peek of the studio. I got my mic right here. Yeah. Got some Palo Santo. So for the sake of the video, I'm gonna keep my lights natural lighting rather than the LED. But there's a few things I want to add after reviewing the video I shot on my work break. So when I started experiencing that 24/7 high-pitched ringing, like I said, it was so unbearable to me, but I didn't mention that it was so unbearable that I wanted to exit myself. And it was, at the time, it was very, very, very serious. It was very serious. Like, throughout my life, have always been an existentialist, and I've had a traumatic childhood, experiencing depression very early on as a kid, as well as, I really don't want to say the word, but not wanting to be here since a young age. So around the time when my friend passed, that was triggering. And then in addition to that, a couple months later, I started experiencing this 24/7 annoying high pitch frequency. I just couldn't. Like, it got so bad to the point that I had to check into a residential for a month because I just didn't trust myself in that time being to keep myself here. Like, I don't want to get into the details, but it was really bad, and I never felt it that intensely, and it was just terrible. And I think back to my past self at that time, and I just want to hug her and let her know that this is a strength and not like something to be afraid of or to want to get rid of. And of course, when you notice something and then you become fixated on it, it stands out 100 times more to you. Just anything in general, right? Like, whether it's good or bad, once you're fixated on it, once you're thinking about it constantly, it just stands out. So that's what I was experiencing, and it was a very, very serious situation. So the fact that I was fixated on it did not make it better, and only when I stopped fixating on it did my mental state become better. And that was almost 2 years ago, or no, it has been 2 years now, and to this day I still hear the ringing. I hear it right now. Like, I can't explain to you how, like, all the research I was doing a couple years ago when this first happened, like, on all the Reddit pages about tinnitus, how to make it go away, seeing people's journeys and if they ever got it to go away. And anyway, my whole point is that it's a strength and it's not something to look at negatively, but it's all about, your mindset and how you choose to look at it. So, like I said, I hear it right now, but it doesn't bother me anymore, especially with the understanding that it is a strength and superpower that at the end of the day, everybody has the clairs, but some people are more in tune than others, and majority of people actually deny those abilities. So there's that. But it's a strength. At the moment, that is it. That's all I really have to share. But thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. If you're experiencing tinnitus, look into clairaudience and learn about it and how to utilize it for your own good and the highest good, the greater good, the collective good. Okay? Peace and blessings. I'll see you next time.